All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into a Clint Eastwood story. And it's not about tough guys or shootouts or anything like that. It's actually, it's about kindness.
Kindness.
Yeah, kindness, and it goes way beyond like what we usually see from him on screen. So picture this. You're on Melrose Avenue in LA.
Okay.
Sunny afternoon, Clint Eastwood's grabbing a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And out of nowhere, this homeless man, Kevin, approaches him and asks for $1.
Okay. I can see this going in a few different directions.
Right, me too. But here's where it takes a turn.
Okay.
So instead of like brushing him off, which, you could imagine happening,
Yeah, for sure.
Clint actually invites Kevin to sit down with him and just talk.
Wow, really?
I know, right? Total curveball.
Yeah.
It's like you can practically feel Kevin's hesitation,
Oh, yeah.
like that mix of, is this really happening? And just disbelief.
Well, yeah, think about it. Kevin's lost everything. His business, his home. He's probably carrying around so much shame. And then he runs into Clint Eastwood, this Hollywood legend, who actually seems interested in his story.
It's like suddenly he's seen.
Exactly. It's like going from invisible to being acknowledged.
Mm.
And that can be huge for someone who's feeling completely lost.
Absolutely. And Clint doesn't stop there. He actually sits and listens as Kevin shares his struggles.
Which is so important, right? To feel heard.
Totally. And then comes this question, this question that changes everything. Clint asks him, what's the next chapter of your story?
Whoa.
Right.
That's deep.
It is. And I think it's a real turning point because it's so easy to get stuck in survival mode when you're facing hardship.
Oh, absolutely. Just focusing on getting through the day.
Exactly. But Clint challenges Kevin to think beyond that.
Yeah, to imagine a future for himself.
Right. And it's not like a handout.
More like a hand up.
Yeah, exactly. And what makes it even more powerful is how Clint connects with him on a personal level.
Oh, how so?
Well, he reveals that he also grew up in poverty during the Great Depression. He knows what it's like to be hungry, to feel uncertain about the future.
Wow. So it's not just some celebrity giving advice.
No, it's someone who's been there.
That's powerful.
It is, and I think that shared experience adds so much weight to Clint's offer of help.
So what does he do?
Well, he doesn't just throw money at the problem. He gives Kevin a business card for a shelter run by a friend.
Okay.
It's about giving him a pathway, not a quick fix.
That's really thoughtful.
It is. And it reminded me of that story about the mechanic who helped Clint when he was young, gave him a job when times were tough. It's like he's paying it forward.
Yeah, that's a great point. These acts of kindness, they can ripple outward.
Totally.
But here's the thing. Kevin's actually hesitant about the shelter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it makes sense though, right? When you've been through so much, it's hard to believe that things can actually change.
Oh, I totally get it. It's like that fear of the unknown mixed with maybe a little distrust.
Yeah, and maybe a tiny glimmer of hope too.
Right. Like, could this actually work?
Exactly. So he's got this chance, right? This lifeline. But he's holding back.
It's understandable, though, right? I mean, it's like wanting a better life, but not quite believing it's possible.
Yeah, and then when he finally goes to the shelter, it's not exactly a walk in the park.
Oh, I bet.
Think about it. You're walking to this completely new environment. Everything's unfamiliar.
Right. New routines, new faces.
Exactly. And you're already feeling so vulnerable. It can be really overwhelming.
Like starting from scratch in a whole new world.
Exactly. But here's the thing about this shelter. The staff, they treat Kevin with dignity and respect.
Okay. That's huge.
They see him as a person, not just some homeless guy.
Like they're recognizing his humanity.
Exactly. And for someone who's been feeling invisible and devalued, that kind of kindness can be life-changing.
It's like rebuilding his sense of self-worth.
Right. And it starts to chip away at that shame he's been carrying around.
So he's starting to feel like maybe, just maybe, things can get better.
Exactly. And that's when things really start to turn around for him. The shelter helps him find a job, temporary work at a warehouse.
Good for him.
And he throws himself into it. He's reliable, hardworking. He's proving himself.
It's like that resilience kicking in.
Yeah. And as he starts earning a paycheck, he's able to move out of the shelter.
Wow. So he's got his own place now?
Not exactly. It's a shared apartment, but still.
Yeah.
It's a huge step forward.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a symbol that he's regaining control of his life.
That feeling of independence, right?
Exactly. And through it all,
Yeah.
he keeps that business card Clint gave him close by.
Really?
Yeah, it becomes like this tangible reminder of the turning point.
More than just a piece of cardboard.
Right. It's a symbol of hope, of someone who believed in him when he didn't believe in himself.
Powerful.
And as Kevin starts putting his life back together, he feels this overwhelming sense of gratitude towards Clint.
I bet.
He wants to let him know how much that encounter meant.
So what does he do?
He writes Clint a letter.
Wow.
Yeah, he pours his heart out, thanks him for his kindness, for listening, for giving him that lifeline.
It's like coming full circle.
It is. And he shares all his progress, the job, the apartment, how he's starting to believe in himself again.
What a story.
And you know what?
What?
Clint actually reads the letter.
No
Yeah,
way.
months later it arrives at his office. And he takes the time to really read it carefully.
I can picture him like reflecting on his own journey.
Right. It's this quiet moment, but so full of meaning. He folds the letter and keeps it, like a reminder of their encounter and the power of human connection.
It's just amazing how these small acts of kindness can have such a huge impact.
And it's important to remember, Clint wasn't looking for recognition or praise.
He just wanted to help,
Exactly. It was about paying it forward.
like that mechanic did for him.
Right. And Kevin's story, it doesn't end there.
Really? What happens next?
Well inspired by his own transformation, Kevin starts volunteering at that same shelter that helped him.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is now he's the one offering a helping hand, sharing his story with others who are struggling.
Talk about a ripple effect.
Right. It all started with that one encounter.
That simple act of kindness.
And it led to all this positive change.
It really makes you think.
It does.
We all have the power to make a difference.
Exactly, even in small ways. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, how connected we all are.
It really does. Like, we're all part of this big web of humanity. And what we do, even the small things, can have these huge ripple effects.
It's true, and it makes me think of a question for you. What's a small act of kindness that you've experienced? Something that really stuck with you that had a lasting impact?
That's a great question. Let me think for a second. And for everyone listening, we want to hear your stories too. What small act of kindness have you experienced or maybe witnessed? Share it with us online or leave a comment on our website.
Yeah, because sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones we share with each other.
Yeah.
They remind us that there's still good in the world and inspire us to do more.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive has been so inspiring for me. It's like a story that just reaffirms my faith in humanity. Like those small acts of kindness can really make a difference.
Yeah, it's a story that I'll definitely remember.
What really struck me is how Clint's kindness and then Kevin paying it forward, it shows just how interconnected we all are. It makes you think about the ripple effects of our own choices.
It does, like what kind of impact are we having on the people around us?
Exactly. And sometimes we might not even realize it.
Right, it could be something so simple, but it could make a huge difference in someone's life.
Like that smile from a stranger, holding the door open.
Or just listening to someone who needs to talk.
Yeah. Those little things can mean the world.
They really can.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's remember Clint and Kevin's story. It's a reminder that every interaction has the potential for connection, for compassion, and even for transformation.
And who knows, maybe you listening right now, you could be the Clint in someone's life.
And that's a powerful thought to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.